is so special because it's not about them specifically, it's about an object, but that object is part of you.
Yeah.
You know, it has so much meaning that you start sharing so many things.
Yeah.
I love show and telling.
Hello, leaders, and welcome back to the LeadHer Lounge. Today's episode is going to be a quick and fun one. We are going to actually share with you 4 different team building exercises and activities that you can do to help build a lot more trust and camaraderie on your team. Because we know work is, boring when it's just work. We have to have a little bit of fun when we're there. So these 4 exercises, not even exercises, honestly, they're just fun activities. They really are. This is like more of a fun and friendship type vibe. But these 4 will help bring some laughter, some more knowledge, and get to know each other a little bit more. And we all know that the more you know someone, the more you trust someone. So the first exercise is a throwback to like kindergarten and elementary school, and it's show and tell. Who doesn't love show and tell? So I remember we did this over Zoom actually during like when we were working from home and quarantined and all that back in 2020. And it was the first time as an adult that I had done show and tell with a bunch of other adults. And it was so much fun. So we just were tasked with finding something in our house that was really sentimental or meaningful to us and share that with the team. Like, just come in, show what it was, and then share a little bit with the team. Mine was I went to Paris with my husband, and we had a champagne bottle. It was the first bottle of champagne that we had while we were there. And I kept, like the thing that keeps the cork down. I kept like the wire twisty metal thing. I kept that, and my husband turned it into a chair, like a little chair.
Oh, cute.
And so I showed that, and it's like this crappy piece of twisted, mangled metal into a little chair. But that's like so sentimental to me because it was such a fun, beautiful trip and time. And so from there, like my team learned that I really liked to travel, and I liked Paris, and I loved like the culture and the pastries. And a good friend of ours on our team would always send me croissants because he was like, I know that you love this. I know you're a French girl at heart. And he would always send those to me. So something like that can show so much more about yourself and bring a little bit more to the team. It was really fun.
You definitely learn a lot from somebody without intending to do it. And a lot of people feel uncomfortable sometimes answering questions or, but when you're sharing something that is your thing, your object, and you have the option and the possibility to share with somebody else, you start like talking about this story or just telling a story that it shares so much about you without you knowing.
Yeah.
So especially doing this with people that are a little bit more introvert is so special because it's not about them specifically, it's about an object, but that object is part of you.
Yeah.
It has so much meaning that you start sharing so many things.
Yeah.
I love show and tell. And it's so easy if you're from home, an object from home. If you're in the office, bring something that you have on your desk or just tell them the day before so they bring something from home.
Yeah.
Sometimes the objects are funny and that is the idea.
Yes.
That takes us to our second activity is hot take. So this one asks your team members to be prepared with with a hot take, something that they believe in or they do, but
Like
a lot of people don't do, or it is not like very
unpopular
common.
opinion
Yes.
kind of thing.
For example, mine, when I was asked this, it was to put pineapple in pizza. I like pizza with pineapple. I like all type of pizzas, but if they have pineapple, Patrick is shaking his head.
We already have a disagreement, but
and I know it is. Make sure that there's something that is not religious and political. The topic, that hot take cannot be religious, political. It has to be light and fun, like pizza over pineapple over pizza. That's something fun and light, even though some Italians don't agree with. Because that happened with my friend. His family is from Italy, and he was working at an Italian restaurant, and he was so upset.
He was passionate.
In a good way. Yeah, he was very passionate about that. But what is your hot take? Do you have one?
Yeah, people don't. They either agree with me 100% on this, or they don't. They're mad at me for it. But I I don't like the show The Office. I think it's very cringy. And I don't think that Michael Scott is funny. It's like secondhand embarrassment when I watch it. Sorry for anyone that I am offending. It was a very powerful statement. There are some clips that I will giggle and laugh at, don't get me wrong, but I'm more of a Parks and Rec girl. It's not as cringy.
Yes,
so that's my hot take.
Office.
And people are always like, either it's fully bought into what I'm saying, or they're like, you're insane, that's like my comfort show, and blah, blah, and I'm like, I don't want to offend anyone, but it's not for me.
It is just an opinion.
Yeah.
I do like The Office. I found it very funny, but it's just an opinion.
Yeah.
And it's just funny.
Yeah, and the point is to be just like, ask open-minded questions. You know what I mean? Like, be open-minded to the things that other people like that you don't, and it's okay to do that. But it's so funny.
Quick Boss Leaders, this is a leadership development resource brought to you by Monarch Coaching.
If you've been feeling the pressure in your new role, thinking about a career change, or stepping back into the workforce, you're not alone. The Transformative Series by Monarch Coaching is a 5-week journey designed to help people like you emerge, evolve, and elevate in every stage of leadership. It's where mindset meets confidence and confidence meets opportunity. Because you don't need to wait until you feel ready, you just need the right support to get there. Visit the link in our description below to learn more about upcoming pods and use code LHL10 at checkout to receive 10% off your seat. The Transformative Series, practical tools, real support, and lasting transformation.
All right, let's go back to the conversation.
So the third activity that we're going to share with you today is Who Am I? And this one is really cool. What I've done to prepare for this one before is either if you're in person, you can print out these cards, or if you're virtual, you can send an email and have the same questions for each of your team members. So for mine, I asked questions like, what was your favorite childhood pet? Or what was the name of your childhood pet? Or like, what sport did you play in school, or things like that.
What do you want to be when you...
Yeah, what did you want to be when you grow up? Things like that, kind of actually based around childhood, honestly. You can theme it however you want to, but those were the ones that I was asking. And so then we would do, in a team meeting, we would share a couple of them. And then, you know, they're anonymous. So you as the leader, you will read these questions or their answers to the rest of the team, and they have to try and guess who it is. And so you're learning about that person, but you're also having fun because you're like, oh my God, that's Erica. And they're like, no, it's not Erica, it's Patrick. Like, it's just fun, and you get to know each other, and it's an easy thing to do. And another thing that you can do actually in that same vein is like gift ideas in that. I'm just thinking about this now because this is something that we used to do on our team too, is like, what is your favorite candy bar? Or like, what's your favorite, I don't know, stocking stuffer or something like that. So, you know, like little things that you could also surprise them with as their leader, you know, recognition type things, tangible gifts, if you will.
And that helps you with the next activity, that is the question of the day. And we know this one pretty well. We do have 30 questions that we want to share with you in our resources. So if you go to our description, we have a link for our website where you can see all the resources we share here at the LeadHer Lounge. And for this one, you can Google the questions or you can use our resource. And the questions are about anything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so same the way you're saying, you can learn so much about a person. And what I used to do with my team, I have those questions in a jar. So everybody just randomly pick one and they have to answer that question. Or sometimes you can ask just one question for everybody to answer at the same time. Or you have the list and you have one person to, okay, I want this question to be answered by Taylor. Mm-hmm. I want this question to be answered by Patrick. So different questions, different answers. You learn so much. Again, it's fun. They're light questions, really fun. And I think when you're talking about childhood memories, most of the time, something happens with the brain where it clicks and it connects everybody, because we all have childhood. They were different childhoods. Mm-hmm. We were all raised differently. But we have one. It's something that we have in common. So when we were sharing what games we play or the chocolate bar or candy bar that we like, those things just bring us to those memories, and they're usually good memories, right? When we talk about that. So that is a good way to just bring everybody together, to help each other to know a little bit more in a different way, not just in this work, in job and busy world of the company, but just in a more personal way without making people feel uncomfortable speaking in public. it's just they're talking about themselves, and they're easy questions. At the beginning, a lot of people might feel uncomfortable, but I assure you, people get used to it, and they start liking what they're sharing, and just being vulnerable, and listening to other people as well, and having that curiosity.
Yeah. So these activities are just 4 quick things you can do with your team. They take 5 minutes, not even. So make sure that you do dedicate some time to have fun with your team, get to know each other, build that camaraderie, and I'm sure that you're going to reap the benefits from it. So if there's any fun activities that you have done on your team that are similar to this, let us know in the comments below. If you're looking for ideas or know someone who is looking for ideas, send them this video and share it with them. And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe.
Yes, and thank you again to our friends at Velocity and Sterling Heights for this beautiful podcast studio. And we'll see you next week, leaders.
Bye.
Quick Boss Leaders, this is a leadership development resource brought to you by Monarch Coaching.
If you've been feeling the pressure in your new role, thinking about a career change, or stepping back into the workforce, you're not alone. The Transformative Series by Monarch Coaching is a 5-week journey designed to help people like you emerge, evolve, and elevate in every stage of leadership. It's where mindset meets confidence, and confidence meets opportunity. Because you don't need to wait until you feel ready, you just need the right support to get there. Visit the link in our description below to learn more about upcoming pods, and use code LHL10 at checkout to receive 10% off your seat. The Transformative Series, practical tools, real support, and lasting transformation.
All right, let's go back to the conversation.